websites. I've spoken at companies like Facebook and Microsoft. Now, the reason I'm telling you all of this isn't to brag, it's to show you that I have over 10 years of experience in online marketing. So when I tell you something, it actually means that that stuff is going to work. Versus when you're reading stuff online for someone who's just saying, hey, I'm the best marketer out there, what have they done to actually show you or others that they really know what they're doing? But unfortunately, it wasn't always this way for me. I wish I could tell you that I was born with a laptop in my mother's womb, but that wasn't the case. When I grew up, I didn't have much money at all. My parents were struggling. Just look at that picture of me. I'm wearing my sister's clothes, and you know what? I rock them quite well. My parents used to compare me to my sister all the time. She always got straight A's, never even got an A-, and my parents were like, Neil, why are you getting B's and sometimes even C's in your classes? I still did decent overall, but nothing compared to my sister. She was encouraged by my parents to become a doctor, and my parents would tell me, hey, you should stick with like computers or something like that. Why? Because they felt that I wasn't smart enough to become a doctor. And you know what? My grades weren't good enough. And even if they were, I don't think that I'll actually pass the test to become a doctor. So when I was 15 years old, I decided to take a job. It was at a local theme park called Knott's Berry Farm, as you can see from that image there. I was picking up the trash, sweeping up the vomit, and I was even cleaning the restrooms. It was a shitty job, literally. But every time I cleaned the restroom, they would give me an extra 50 cents. And I was really happy because I was able to take all of that money that I saved from Knott's Berry Farm to pay a marketing firm to help me create a business so that way I can make more money. And the funny thing is, that marketing firm ripped me off, provided little to no results, and I was frustrated and broke. After I got burned, I had a business that wasn't doing well. But the thing I had was a ton of time. So I took that time and I learned traffic generation. I got so good at it that I was able to help companies like Viacom, MTV, Walmart, Sony, etc. And I had raving testimonials from so many people in different magazines and companies. Why? Because I used that time to perfect that skill of generating traffic. I was so good, I got Gawker Media extra 5 million visitors a month. Just think about that. 5 million extra visitors per month. That's a ton of traffic. I even took Tim Sykes. He was doing $50,000 a month in income, or $600,000 a year, and I took him to $15 million a year. That's how good I got at traffic generation. So would you like to learn what I learned and how I got those amazing results for other people? Well, there are 7 vital transformations that need to happen if you want to take your business or your marketing knowledge to the next level. The first is you need to think like a detective. Now, if you don't know how to think like a detective, no worries. I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. No matter what industry you're in, I don't even care if you're creating a brand new product or you're saying, hey, I'm revolutionizing the industry like Tesla where I'm doing electric cars, you still have competition. Tesla still has Toyota, Mercedes, BMW, Ford as competitors, Fiat, etc. The list keeps going on and on. With the website, you can use a tool called SEMrush. They have a free version. You put in a URL and it'll show you all of the keywords that your competitors get traffic from. This will tell you what's good and what's bad. Because if you're seeing, hey, so-and-so site is getting all their visitors from these keywords, then you know that you should consider targeting some of those keywords. SEMrush also shows you all of the paid keywords that your competition is going for as well. And these keywords show you what they're spending money on with Google. If someone's spending money on keywords, you can bet that they're making money from these phrases, right? Why would you pay $5 a click if you're not going to be making more than $5 back? It just doesn't make sense. And SEMrush will show you all of the paid keywords that someone is bidding on. You want to look at the paid keywords before the organic ones because the paid ones show you their most valuable keywords. These are the phrases that you want to try to rank for organically, and I'm going to show you how to do that later on. The next tool that I love using is What Runs Where. This shows you all of the ads that your competitors are using across the whole web, their banner ad campaigns, which ones they're using the most often. This will help you determine what your ads should look like, so that way you can also get more traffic without making a lot of errors or doing guesswork on trying to figure out what works. One of my favorite tools is Built With. What this shows is every single tool that your competition is paying for or using for free. If they're using Google Analytics, it tells you, hey, this site's using Google Analytics. If their site was built with WordPress, it'll tell you, hey Neil, this site's using WordPress as their CMS, and maybe you should consider using it too. In essence, it'll tell you everything that they're using, so that way you know what tools you should start off with first. One tool that I use each and every single day is Ahrefs. I'm addicted to SEO. It's my version of drugs. Like some people are like they're addicted to cocaine or heroin or whatever it may be. I haven't really tried any drugs in my life, but the one thing I'm addicted to is Ahrefs. This is where you can put in a URL like your competitor, and it shows you each and every single website that's linking to your competitor. And it'll provide you with templates later on, so you don't have to worry about this right now. But what you can do is you can outreach to each and every single one of these competitors or websites that are linking to your competitors and say, hey, I noticed that you're linking to X, Y, and Z website out there. I have all of this extra stuff to offer that they don't. You should also consider linking to me. And don't worry about the semantics. I'm going to provide you with a template soon enough. Over time, your competitors are going to change. They're going to learn new things just like you are. So you want to use Wayback Machine to see all of the changes that your competition has made over time. What this does is highlight during specific dates when they made specific changes and the most amount of changes. So that way you can go into Wayback Machine, go back years or months, weeks, days, whatever you want. Click on the date and it'll show you the specific change that someone made. This will give you ideas on where your competition is going so you can keep up with them and stay ahead of them, more importantly. And through Wayback Machine, if you let's say look at neilpatel.com, you can see one of my old home pages. This worked really well. I don't use it anymore. Why? Because I found a way better converting home page. And using tools like Wayback Machine, you can learn and see visually the changes someone has been making over time. If you want to see how you stack up compared to most of your competitors, you can use Open Site Explorer, which is another free tool, put in all the competitor URLs, and it'll tell you who's the leader and which categories they're the leader in, and then you can drill down. If you're not sure what some of these categories and words means, no worries. Open Site Explorer has like a little question mark next to each of them, and they explain them in detail so that way you won't be confused. Now that you know how to think like a detective, you need to start thinking like a journalist. You don't have to increase your rankings to get more search traffic. That's a huge misconception. Everyone always believes that, hey, if you want more traffic, you have to rank higher on Google. That's not necessarily the case. Sure, if you do rank higher, of course, you'll get some visitors, but I'm going to show you the trick that I use to get Nutrition Secrets to over 100,000 visitors a month. Now, for those of you guys that are familiar with Nutrition Secrets, I decided to do this funny challenge where I'm like, you know what? Anyone can create a blog that generates over $100,000 a month. And even if you don't generate $100,000 a month, you can generate in the thousands of dollars, right? And of course, I'm doing it so I have more knowledge than most people, but nonetheless, I broke down my journey and my steps, step by step, because if people followed along, they would create a blog that not only got traffic, but it would also generate income as well. And with Nutrition Secrets, I ended up selling the business. The site no longer exists. It's 301 redirected to another company.
Or if you have an amazing
we
month,
ended up generating
why
a ton
isn't
of
it
traffic.
that every
And
month
we did
is
this
amazing?
all
Why are
without increasing our rankings. And here's how we did it. So we first went into a tool called Google Search Console. So if you aren't familiar with it, you just Google Search Console. It's the first result that pops up. And Google will ask you to submit your website. If you haven't submitted a website or you don't have a website, no worries. I'll still walk you through all the steps. And at the end of the webinar, as I mentioned, you'll get all the slides so you can go back into this and get all the notes. What ends up happening is once you submit your website to Google Search Console, it takes roughly, let's say, a day for them to populate it with data. And once you have data, you're going to see a screen like this. You go into your website, and in the left navigation, I want you to click on Search Traffic, then click on Search Analytics. There's going to be checkbox. As you can see, there's clicks, CTR, and impressions. Those are the three boxes that I have ticked. You'll have total clicks, impressions, and average click-through rate. You can see the stats here. And this will break down each of your pages. What are the clicks and impressions? Now, what this tells you is if a web page has a lot of impressions and little clicks, that means your title tag, the copy that you're using on your website, isn't attractive enough to cause people to want to click through and visit your website. But on the flip side, if your copy is more appealing than your competitors, what are they going to do? People are going to click on that instead of your competition. Now, when you're shown this data, what you want to do is look for the ones that have a CTR, the pages in essence, that have a CTR of 4 or lower. You don't see that much with my own website because it's fine-tuned, right? I use these tactics on my own site to grow my traffic. But on most sites like yours, you'll have the CTR numbers less than 4. The ones that are less than 4, you want to click through on that URL, and a screen like this will pop up showing you all the keywords that are causing the clicks. You then want to look at all the keywords that have a CTR of less than 5%. So on mine, I don't have too many that are less than 5%, but there's some like 3-day diet, which is at 2.5. And then from there, you can use this data to figure out what pages and what keywords you need to tweak within your copy to get more clicks. So here's some general tips. You need to look for keywords that have less than 5% click-through. You want to look for pages that have less than 4% click-through. You want to make sure that those keywords are within your title tag of your website. If you're not sure what title tag is, just Google it. Or actually think of it this way. When you do a Google search and you type something in, you know that blue link at the top that you can click? That's the title tag. If you're not sure on how to fix that or modify that, you can just Google how to change my title tag, and there's articles that teach you how to do that. Or if you're not sure how to do it or you don't have the time, you can go to a site called Upwork, upwork.com. Or when you go to that site, you'll be able to find someone who can do that change for you for like $10 or something cheap like that. Once you then make the change, you want to have Google recrawl your website. In essence, you're telling, hey Google, I'm changing my site all over again. I updated my title tag, re-index this. And I'll show you how to do that in a bit. But just to give you some ideas on how you can increase your click-through rate, consider using one of these 10 words within your title tag. From all the tests that we've done, we found that it helps increase click-through rate. So how to, listen type of post, free, you, tips, blog posts, why, tips, tricks, best, great. These are all words and phrases that you can use to increase your click-through rate. And once you make the changes to your title tag, you want to go back into Google Search Console. In the left navigation, click on Crawl, then click on Fetch as Google, and you see the URL there. It says nutritionsecrets.com. That'll be your home page. If you made the change to your home page, you don't have to do anything other than click Fetch and Render. If you made the change to an internal page, like a sub page or a blog post or your about page, whatever it may be, you need to put in the URL there in that box and then click Fetch and Render. Once you do that, your screen's going to adjust and you're going to see something that pops up with a button that says Submit to Index. Then you want to click on Submit to Index, and then you want to click on Crawl this URL and its direct links. Make sure you select the second option. By default, it's naturally on the first option, which is crawl only this URL. Change it to crawl this URL and its direct links, and then click on Go. Once you do that, give it 30 days, and you should be able to see more results. In essence, more clicks. If you don't see more clicks, that means the title tag you created aren't as persuasive and people aren't clicking on them. In that case, you want to redo this whole step all over again and keep tweaking and adjusting until you start seeing more clicks. And the way you need to think about this is like a journalist, right? In which your copy needs to be more persuasive. Like, how can you hook that person in with your headline? And if you're not sure on how to create like attractive headlines, just Google copy blogger, CopyBlogger, that's copy blogger, space headline, space formula, and they give all these templates on how to create really attractive headlines and title tags so that way people click through on more of them. Now that you know how to think like a journalist, you need to think like a monk. Monks believe that less is more, and reality, it really is. I really do agree with them. for the last few years, I've been giving up something for life each year. So for example, one year I gave up red meat. Another year I gave up caffeinated drinks like coffee, sodas, Red Bull, etc. And by doing this, my life has become more simplistic and I've actually been happier. The same goes with your marketing. A lot of people believe you have to do a lot and think about a lot and fine tune a lot. And sure, yeah, if you're a really big business like a General Motors or a Tesla or a Ford or Apple Computers, like yeah, think about all that stuff. But when you're starting off and you're small, you don't need to think about a lot of things. You just need to do a few things and do them right. In essence, less is more. So I want to give you a few templates. Remember on the first section when I taught you how to think like a detective, I said here's how to reverse engineer your competition and see what they're doing. When you're using a tool called Ahrefs, ahrefs.com, as I mentioned earlier, you put in a URL and it shows you who's linking to that URL. The URL that you're putting in Ahrefs is your competition site. And it breaks down each and every single site that's linking to them. So what you want to do is go through them and hit each of those sites up. For example, if a blog is linking to your competition, you want to send them this generic email, and you can find their email on their contact page typically. So let's say someone's linking to your competition and your website's around music, and that blog who's linking to your competition is all about music as well. And that person who runs that blog, their name is John. You would send them a simple template that goes like this, or a simple email. Hey John, I recently came across your website and saw that you played the didgeridoo. I lost my voice on the didgeridoo a few days ago and I've been looking for videos on how to play it correctly. What's your take on them? Also, I've been writing up music articles and will have a chance to write on your blog. I'm happy to send you a few of my writing samples. Cheers, Neil. It's that simple. And funny enough, I do play the didgeridoo. I suck at it, and I did lose my voice playing it. But I love the concept of it, and when my buddy came from Australia, he hooked me up with one of them. It was like one of my favorite moments in life. I don't know why, but it was amusing for me. Here's another email template that you can use. Hey John, I'm sad. Sad face. I used to love reading your blog, but you've stopped updating it. Is it because you're strapped for time? As a loyal follower, I would love to help you out. If you want, I can help maintain your blog for you and write posts on a regular basis. If you're wondering what I'm looking for, it's nothing. I'm just a loyal fan who doesn't want to see your blog disappear. And a lot of people will email you back saying, yeah, that'd be awesome. We'd love for you to help me maintain my blog. And of course, when you're blogging on their blog now, if you see a good fit to link back to your website, by all means, link back to it. You don't want to just shove in links because you want more links. It needs to make sense for the reader, because then when people go to your website, they're much more likely to convert and buy and become a customer. Here's another template that works really well if you can't find someone's email and you're just going through their contact form. Hey John, I was wondering if you accept any guest posting on your site. I couldn't find your email on your site, so I'd really appreciate it if you get back in touch with me by emailing me at neil@neilpatel.com. The other cool part about the internet is that it's old. And I know a lot of people look at things like, oh, I don't like anything that's old. I want the new, fresh stuff. Well, the beautiful part about the internet being old is there's so many links out there that are broken. And your competition has web pages that probably no longer exist anymore. Using a free tool called Domain Hunter, it's a Chrome extension, it'll show you who's linking to your competition when your competition doesn't have that page up and running anymore. So then you can email each of those site owners, right? So for example, if I have a music site and my competitor has a music site and people are linking to him on one of his music pages on playing a didgeridoo, but he no longer has that page because he deleted it, I can use Domain Hunter and shoot them an email, right? And it could be a lot of things. Like one of the templates you could end up using is, hey John, I was looking through your suggested links on your website and noticed a few broken links. Let me know if you'd like me to send you a list of them. And in many cases, they'll respond back and John will be like, yes, would appreciate that. And when you send them a list of the broken links, also send them other websites, including yours, that they could link to instead. So here's the example template that I use. Hey John, here are the broken links. I list them all out. And if you're wondering what URL to replace them with, check out yourdomain.com, and you can give a few of them. It provides similar information to the above broken links, but as you can see, the URL isn't dead. Smiley face. Cheers, Neil. And if you want to get a bit clever, here's a funny one that's really fun to use. Hey John, it looks like we have something in common. We both live in Las Vegas, and we of course want to see businesses within our community succeed. Smiley face. I noticed that you link out to a few Las Vegas businesses from your domain, which is awesome. But have you seen blah 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 domain, right? That would be your own website. Yes, as you probably guessed, it's my business. If you're in a good mood, I would love a link. Wink. It's tough to make a business work, so I'm trying to do anything that'll help improve my odds. Cheers, Neil. It's simple, it's clever, a lot of people laugh at it, and they are willing to link back. So here's some general tips. Make your emails relevant. If your emails aren't relevant, they won't do well. Just don't send generic emails out to everyone. Don't use email marketing tools to blast out these emails in quantity. If you do that, you'll notice that the emails will go into people's spam boxes and you won't get any links and traffic from other websites, whether it's within your local region or within other sites around the world. You can also increase your response rate by striking up a conversation first. If someone emails you and they try to create a conversation first, and then you engage, and then they ask you for something, you're much more likely to do it than if they just ask you for something right from the get-go. Roughly 5 to 10% of the people you email should link back to your website. And most importantly, do not, and I can't emphasize this enough, do not pay for links. It's too risky. Google frowns upon it. Link building using all these templates will get you more rankings, more traffic. It's a simple technique. This whole section, that's what I taught you. It works really well, and that's why I say you should think like a monk. You don't need to do too many things to succeed. If you just did a bit of link building, your rankings and traffic will go up drastically. Just look at nutritionsecrets.com. When I started building links, as you can see with the chart, it started drastically going up. And what happened to the traffic? It also went drastically up. Links work. If you build links, you get more traffic. If you don't build links, you won't get more traffic. So what do you think about these first 3 tactics that I showed you? These 3 tactics are how I generate most of my traffic. They're pretty amazing, right? Don't you think they can change your business? Well, guess what? I had to learn this the hard way. Here's one of the companies I co-founded, Kissmetrics. Now, this screenshot right here is a tool called SEMrush. What SEMrush does is estimate the amount of traffic someone gets. It's not 100% accurate, but it'll give you a rough overview of how much you're bigger or smaller than your competition. And according to SEMrush, Kissmetrics gets 164,000 visitors a month. Now Mixpanel, the competitor who started a year after us, has 58,000 visitors. So who would you rather be, Kissmetrics or Mixpanel? In 2014, Mixpanel raised $65 million at an $865 million valuation. You're probably thinking that I should be a billionaire because we're getting 3x their traffic. So I should be worth over $2 billion, right? Sadly, we weren't even worth 1/10 of Mixpanel. In essence, we weren't even worth $86 million, yet we were getting 3x the traffic that they were. And it was at that point that I realized in my career that I was doing everything wrong as a marketer. I only focus on traffic generation, when in reality, the real formula to marketing is traffic plus conversions cubed equals success. It's so much more important to focus on having a website and a business that converts traffic into sales than just generating traffic. I wish I knew this formula when I was early on in my career, because if that was the case, I wouldn't have had all those visitors and failed and then created 4 multi-million-dollar companies. I would have created 4 multi-million-dollar companies a lot earlier. They would have been bigger and I wouldn't have failed. Once you have this formula down and you do it the right way, you can even do things like driving paid traffic to your website and start making money instantaneously. I was doing all this organic stuff and it still works and it's great. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it well, and you understand the formula in which traffic plus conversions cubed equals success. Because without a high converting website, your business won't grow as quickly. Now that you know the real formula, it's time for you to think like a circus trainer. Circus trainers have hoops, and they have lions jump through these hoops. Think of a hoop as like a commitment. When you have a big hoop, that's an easy commitment. A lion doesn't have to do much work to jump through a big hoop. But when they jump through a small one, it's much harder and it's a much bigger commitment. The same goes with your website visitors. You want to ask them for very easy commitments. Once they accept those, then you want to start asking them for harder and harder commitments. An example of this is a lead magnet. This is a big hoop, an easy commitment. Put in your email and you'll get an exclusive chapter from my New York Times best-selling book. This is what Ramit Sethi from I Will Teach You to Be Rich uses on one of his landing pages. This is an example of an easy commitment or a big hoop. Why do you need lead magnets? Well, emails are going to be one of your highest converting channels. As you can see, here's my email traffic on one of my websites over the last 30 days. 407,000 visitors. That's a lot of traffic. And out of those 407,000 visitors, as you can see, only 100,000 of them are unique. And you may look at that as, oh, only 25% of those email people are unique. Well, no, that's not a bad thing. It shows that those email people are really engaged and they keep coming back to the site over and over again, which means they're more likely to convert. And that's why your email list will be your highest converting traffic channel. And if you're wondering, do emails really generate sales? Here's a screenshot from my friend Sarah. Sarah has a website that sells coffee table books, and she did this all through emails. Collected emails from social media, right? Had a lead magnet. And then through the email, she emailed people saying, hey, buy my coffee table book. As you can see, she started a new website. She's not making millions of dollars, but she generated $32,000. That's not too shabby considering each coffee table book was selling for over $50 and her cost to make one wasn't even $10. Here's my favorite lead magnet that I've ever created, and this was on my site, quicksprout.com. What's really creative about this is when you offer someone something, it doesn't matter how big your hoop is, you're going to get people who say no to it. So with this one, I said, do you want more traffic? Yes or no? A lot of people would say yes. If they said yes, I would just say, put in your name and email and I'll give you a guide to double your search engine traffic. If you said no, and this is where the creativity comes in, the hoop, the commitment that I offered was put in your email and I'll teach you how to convert your visitors into customers. Because if you said no, that means you already have traffic. And that's where the creativity came in, and this offer converted extremely well. Here's another type of lead magnet. If you don't like pop-ups, then you can use this one. And with this one, it's a header opt-in. So part of your design, like the top portion above the fold, you can have text with the email opt-in. And this is a journey. I'm teaching people that they can get over 100,000 monthly visitors and they can follow me on my journey. When you're leveraging pop-ups or journeys, there's different ways you can offer them. It could be through entry pop-ups, right? Like the one here that I just showed, the QuickSprout one. Or it could also be through exit pop-ups. And here's an example from Chefworks. This is for their e-commerce site. Get a $10 off coupon, right? Now the trick with using these pop-ups, whether they're entry when someone first comes to their website or when someone's leaving, is to make sure they're not too big. Google doesn't like it and they penalize sites that have too big of pop-ups. So make sure your pop-ups don't take up more than 25% of the screen. And these tools that you use to create these pop-ups, like Hello Bar, Opt-in Monster, Balance Exchange, they all make it where you can control the size of the pop-up. Here's another example of a lead magnet. This is from BidSketch. Create a professional client proposal within minutes. Get started. So you just put in your name and email or your email, you can get started, you can see a sample, there's no commitment, and it's really easy, right? If you have videos on your site, like through players through Wistia, you can actually block them and say, put in your email before you're allowed to watch the video. It's simple, I've tested this out, it works extremely well. You'll collect a ton of emails. Here's one of the most creative lead magnets that I've seen, and it's from a copywriter. He's a freelancer. So he said, hey, here are 10 mistakes to avoid when hiring a copywriter. And you can opt in and get that free PDF. And the PDF looks something like this. So he breaks down all the steps. And the last one, the big mistake that he says is not calling his company, which is called Honest Copy. I thought that was pretty smart, right? Because if someone's reading through all the steps, they're engaged, and you're saying, hey, the biggest mistake you can make, which is number 10, is not calling me. So pick up the phone, shoot me an email, fill out this form field, and let's work together. The reason I showed you lead magnets of all different shapes, sizes, pop-ups, landing pages, etc., different industries, is because they work for any type of business. I don't care if you're in the B2B world, the e-commerce world, B2C world, you're a marketplace, you're an app, you can create a lead magnet. And if you're not sure where to get started, there's a lot of tools that'll help you out. Hello Bar, it's free. Doesn't cost you $1 to get started. You don't even have to enter in a credit card, and you can create lead magnets for free. You can also use paid tools like Lead Pages and ClickFunnels. They're a bit more expensive. They're not too crazy. Some of them start under $100 a month, and you can check them out as well to create more landing pages and lead magnets. If you want an enterprise solution, if you're a large company, Bounce Exchange has amazing solutions, and they do it all for you. So here's some general tips. If you ask a yes or no question in your lead magnet before you ask someone to make a commitment, in essence giving you a lead or buying, you'll get a 20 to 30% increase in leads or sales. Journeys like the one I showed you, where I'm walking you through my journey from going from 0 to 100,000 visitors a month, that converted better than offering an ebook by 16%. Everyone's already offering ebooks. Do something unique like creating a journey. You should have multiple lead magnets within your website, whether it's from your homepage or your blog or landing pages. Test different lead magnets out, and that'll help you determine what's working the best. In general, a good lead magnet will convert 5 emails for every 100 unique visitors. So if your Google Analytics account showed that you had 1,000 unique visitors, you better have collected at least 50 emails. If you don't collect at least 50 emails, you won't do as well. Sorry about that. The reason you want to collect at least 50 is that shows you're doing well. To give you a rough idea of what neilpatel.com is generating, I'm collecting 7 on a bad day and 9 on a good day. So that's 7 out of every 100 unique visitors are becoming an email subscriber, or on a good day, 9 out of every 100 unique visitors is becoming an email. So how do you figure out what lead magnet to offer? Well, the first thing you can do is survey your visitors. You can go to surveymonkey.com, which is free, and just ask them a question. What can I help you with? If you don't have any visitors, no worries. Just go email out people that you would think would be potential customers and email them, how can I help you out? And just give them a SurveyMonkey link. You can also go to buzzsumo.com to see what's hot in your space. That's buzzsumo.com, and type in keywords within your niche or your competitors' URLs, and I'll show you what's hot. So here's an example of BuzzSumo. I can type in a keyword like coffee, and it'll show me what's really hot in the coffee space. Drinking coffee is tied to lower risk of death, right? That's interesting. You could have a lead magnet on how drinking coffee can help you live longer, assuming you can actually back it up with stats and data. That's from Fox News. So you can actually cite them. You don't want to make up data and make up a lead magnet that's inaccurate. You want to make sure whatever you're helping people with is accurate, it's valuable, where there's like, wow, Neil, I opted into your lead magnet. I felt that I got a ton of value. Once you have a lead magnet, you then want to create a tripwire. A tripwire is an irresistible offer that people can't say no to, right? So now that we've created that big hoop, that easy commitment, you want to create something that's a bit harder of a commitment, something that requires them to whip out their credit card, but is still such a good deal that people can't say no to. An example of this, Orabrush, which is an e-commerce company. They did it where, hey, you want their free tongue cleaner? They said bad breath isn't caused by brushing, it's caused by your tongue. So you need this tongue cleaner to have really good breath. And we're going to give you this tongue cleaner for free. All you have to do is like us on YouTube or Facebook or whatever it may be and watch one of our videos, right? And they have over 18 million views. It was that successful. And B, you have to pay for shipping. Now, once you pay for shipping, they then upsell you on more products or services, and that's how they get you, right? It's such an easy offer that you can't say no to, right? It's irresistible. It was so effective for them, they got bought out by a bigger dental company. That's pretty crazy. All by offering a free tongue cleaner in exchange for liking their YouTube page and paying for the shipping. Here's another example in the survival space. This is another e-commerce site, right? And I'm showing you guys e-commerce sites because they're some of the hardest ones to create it for. And if it's e-commerce sites can do it, anyone can, from freelance websites to local small mom and pop businesses. And the survival website decided that, hey, they're going to give you a survival flashlight all for free. All you have to do is pay for shipping. And by doing this, they generated millions of dollars worth of sales. I kid you not, this company, Survival Life, does over $1 million worth of sales a month, and they all get everyone by offering a free flashlight. It's really hard to say no to that. Here's an example on something I did on my own website, QuickSprout. I offered a plugin, and this plugin helped you get more Facebook fans. I sold it for a few dollars. It wasn't expensive at all. It didn't make me much money. But once someone bought the tripwire, I then offer them to buy an ebook. And that ebook was selling for $100 to $300 depending on what option they took. I sold over $700,000 worth of ebooks because I had one simple, irresistible offer. Want more Facebook fans? Pay a few bucks for this plugin that works with your WordPress blog, and then I upsold people on an ebook that costs way more money. So here's some general rules if you're trying to figure out your tripwire. Again, you can survey people through SurveyMonkey and ask them, what's the one problem that I can help you solve? This will give you an idea of what people are willing to pay for. You can also go to popular affiliate networks like clickbank.com to see what's doing really well in your space, take what's the top performers, and offer that same thing, recreate it, make it better, and sell it for like under $10. If you do that, you'll have an irresistible tripwire that people can't say no to. So if you're trying to create one, you can use Samcart, which has a free trial, or you can use ClickFunnels. Both these tools help you create a tripwire. So here's some general tips. 1, you need to make it irresistible. Don't charge too much for it. The cheaper the better. I like charging under $10 for them, but the max you should charge is $47. Anything more than that is just too much. At checkout, you should offer them a more expensive product. So right when they buy the tripwire, on that checkout page, you should upsell them into more products or services. And that's why you can use tools like Samcart or ClickFunnels to do this if you don't have a technical bone in your body. At least 30% of your people should buy the higher end product. If you're not getting 30%, that means the offer that you're upselling them to isn't relevant to the tripwire or it's too expensive. In addition to your tripwire, you need a profit maximizer. Just think of it this way. It's easier to get your current customers to spend more money than it is to acquire new customers. Here's something that I learned from ClickFunnels. Don't be afraid to upsell. On their checkout page, they have this little bump that says, hey, you know what? Click this tick box. You can get something that's really discounted. And instead of paying $200, we'll give it to you for $47 one time. It'll teach you more advanced training for their product. And that little thing helps them generate an extra 10-15% more per customer. Here's another example from Unleash Your Thin. Unleash Your Thin is in the fitness space, and they do something that's unique, in which they say, hey, get started on reducing your belly fat, and they sell you this whole course that teaches you how to do that. And then from there, they offer 3 upsells and downsells. It's so effective on how they offered 3 upsells and downsells that they're able to double their revenue. And here's what I learned by just analyzing their business. When you're doing upsells and downsells, the first one should be roughly 2x your price. So whatever you're offering, let's say it's a product that teaches you how to lose weight. If the upsell helped them achieve the results faster, you can charge 2x the price for that. Whether someone accepts or denies the upsell, the second one should be roughly for 1.5 times the price of the original offer, and this is automation. Hey, you can do, we can offer you an X, Y, and Z solution which will help you automate it. So instead of working out 60 minutes a day, you can then work out for 30 minutes a day. The third upsell or downsell should be roughly 2/3 the price, and this should be a complementary product. So if they're trying to lose weight, you can also sell them a product that helps them get more tone and builds more muscle. And that's what you do in the fitness niche. The crazy part about these upsells and downsells, it works in almost any niche out there. I haven't seen a space where it didn't work. To give you a crazy example, let's look at the consulting industry. No one really does upsells and downsells within the consulting space. But here's how I profit maximize my consulting business. I sold a base product for $10,000 a month. Then I offered a kickstarting program where I go to the business for one day for $20,000. Then whether they accepted it or not, I offered an implementation team for $15,000 a month, so they would get better results because they wouldn't have to do as much work. And then I offered a conversion optimization service for $6,600 per month. All of this helped me more than double the revenue for my consulting business. If you're wondering what tools you can use for profit maximization, in essence upsells, again, ClickFunnels, premium tool. Samcart, they have a free trial. Or you can go to upwork.com and pay a developer a few $100 to just do this for your site and implement all the tech stuff so you don't have to worry about it. So what should your profit maximizers be? Anything that offers speed and automation. If someone buys your product and you can give them an upsell that helps them get the results faster or with less effort, that works really well. Also look for hot products. You can go to google.com/trends. The URL again is google.com/trends, and just type in any keywords or phrases within your space. It'll tell you what's hot, what's trending up or down. It'll just give you ideas of what you can consider selling as an upsell. And of course, you want to sell products that have high profit margin. The last thing you want to do is sell a product for $100 that costs you $95. There's no money to be made. You want higher ticket items that have high profit, or if it's low ticket items, that's fine. It just has to have high profit. And just to give you another example that profit maximizers, upsells can be done in any industry, let's look at McDonald's. Whatever you buy when you go to McDonald's, whatever food, what do they ask you at the checkout? Do you want to supersize it? Do you want a bigger drink? Would you like fries with that? They're constantly upselling you. These guys have been doing this since they started. It works. It's effective. That's how you make more money. And now that you've learned to think like a circus trainer, it's time to think like a scientist. If you're not into math and science, don't worry. I break it down where it's really easy for you, right? But looking at the numbers and the data will help you fine-tune your conversions, so that way you're not creating these businesses that have a ton of traffic like I did when I was starting off and then bailed. So think of conversion optimization like dating. If you went to a random person on the street and you said, "Hey, will you marry me?" What are they going to say? They're going to say no. Why? Because it's like they don't know you. No random person, I don't care if they look like Tom Brady, Giselle, or the most beautiful person in the world, wherever they are, no one's going to say yes. They all want to get to know the person before they get married. That's why you date. In real life, if you ask a random person on the street, "Hey, would you like to go on a date?" And let's say they said yes. They're like, "All right, you seem like an interesting person. Why not?" You go on a coffee date, things go well. Then you go out for dinner a week later. Then you keep going on more dates. You end up meeting their friends. They like you. The girl ends up meeting your friends, or the guy ends up meeting your friends. Your friends like them. And then you move in together 6 months down the road. Things go well. Fast forward another year. You meet their parents. They meet your parents. Things go well. Fast forward another 6 months. And then you're like, "Hey, do you want to get married?" The chance of them saying yes at that point is very likely. Why? Because they've gotten to know you. They've already made all these small commitments and eventually made harder and harder commitments. Now they're willing to make the ultimate commitment, which is saying yes to you. That's how conversion optimization works. Most people go to your website and you're asking them right away to say, "Hey, will you marry me?" Of course, most people are going to say no, right? That's why your website funnel looks like this. But if you flipped it around and you took the approach of dating before you ask people to marry you, that's why you do things like a lead magnet. You give them a taste before you ask them to buy. You then do a tripwire. Then you do the upsells. Your funnel will be way better. And let me show you an example of this. So with Hello Bar, I decided to date my visitors before asking them to marry me. So I asked them to just put in their URL to get started. They put in their URL. Then they started creating the bars and getting started with Hello Bar. And then if they wanted to upgrade into paid, they could, right? By doing this, I got a 52.11% increase in signups, all by dating my visitors before I asked them to marry me. I'd even ask them to put in their name and email to start with. I'm like, just put in a URL and then get started and create it. Check out the product, test it out. If you like it, you can use it for free. If you want more paid stuff, you can pay for the premium features. This little thing, by dating my visitors before I ask them to marry me, increased my signups by 52.11%. Here's one by Crew. Crew provides freelancing services where they help you build your own web application. In essence, they're developers. So they decided to create a quiz where they say, hey, let me quiz you first to show you how much it'll cost to make a web app. And they would ask you questions. And it was simple, image-based. You click yes or no. They're interactive quizzes. You can use a tool like Hello Bar or Lead Quizzes to do this. And then at the end, they asked you, would you like to get started? Are you interested in actually creating your own application? If so, fill in your name, email, your budget, etc. I tried doing this on my own consulting site. I quizzed my visitors first, in essence dating them, and I got a 281% increase in leads. So here's some general quiz tips. Start with 5 questions. You don't want to do too many more than that. Keep it a low commitment. Each question shouldn't have more than 4 options, and you ideally want to use images to explain each option so it's really simple. And as I mentioned, you can use Lead Quizzes or Hello Bar to create your own quiz. Another cool thing that you should test out is making signing up easy. Let me ask you this. How many times have you signed up using a username and password and email online? I bet you it's been over 100. So many different sites ask for an email and password, from paying your bills to your car payments, electricity, signing up for even Facebook. They ask you, what's your email and password? But do you really want to keep signing up for more and more services with your email and password all over again? Of course not. As humans, we're all lazy. So why not make signing up easy? And I took this from Buffer's playbook. So Buffer is a company that offers social media services. And they said, hey, so instead of signing up for Buffer using your name and email address, why don't you just sign in with Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn? In essence, when they click the sign in with Facebook, Facebook will provide Buffer with the email address and a password. Don't worry, Buffer can't hijack your Facebook page. They can't go in there and steal all your data. Facebook does this in a secure way. And this will help increase your signups because it makes it easier for people to get started. We did this with Kissmetrics. Sign up with Google. By doing this one simple change, we increased our signups by 59.4%. Then I decided to do another test. I'm like, sign up is an ugly word. Why not try login with Google over sign up with Google? We got another increase. The increase was 22% more. When you combine the original with the 22%, that's roughly a 90% increase, all by adjusting the wording on the button and making it easy so people don't have to put in their name, email address, and password to get going. Another thing you can do, and this comes from Unleash Your Thin, is integrate psychology into your marketing. So on their checkout page, they have this phrase that says this paragraph at the top or sentence. Yes, Johnny, I'm ready to start melting the fat off my belly, hips, and thighs today for a special price of $37. If in the next 60 days I'm not satisfied for any reason, I can get a full refund. And what's cool about this is people are reading it and they're like, oh yeah, I can get started. It's really affordable. It's a special price. And if I'm not happy, I get a full refund, right? They're using psychology. They're integrating the bonuses, the perks of signing up for Unleash Your Thin right there on the checkout page. We've tested this out on a lot of checkout pages by using psychology, letting people know what they're going to get. And if they're not happy, they're going to get a refund. Extra 16% increase in sales. Here's another thing, and this goes back to hoops, right? Hoops are being commitments. Everyone on their sign-up pages likes doing name and email, password, like on their checkout pages, name, email, password, credit card information, etc., like all on one page. They think it's more usable. But if you break it up into 2 steps, the first step just doing like, let's say on your e-commerce site, email or password, or name and email, and then you ask them for their credit card details on the next page, you'll notice by breaking up into 2 steps, you'll roughly get a 10% increase in sales. Here's an interesting way to get more sales by pre-qualifying your customers. In essence, you're personalizing the experience. So instead of just telling people, hey, they can sign up for your product or service, you're personalizing it to them. You're asking them questions, making sure you can help them, and then if you can, you let them buy. Here's one that I did from my own website, neilpatel.com. This is a version of my old site, and I personalized the experience, kind of like Mike Chang, and I said, hey, I'm Neil Patel. I'm determined to make a business in, and I put in your city. So I'm using like a geo-targeting IP, and this was Las Vegas. And I looked at the site while I was in Las Vegas, so it adjusted the text to say Las Vegas. If I was in Los Angeles, it would say Los Angeles. If I was in Bangalore, India, at that time, it would say Bangalore, India. So by adjusting the text to be more relevant to the person who's visiting the webpage, I grew my sales by 31%. So here's some general personalization tips. Insert the user's city using maxmind.com. Again, it's maxmind.com. And this service allows you to personalize the copy on your webpage to include their city. It won't be 100% accurate when you're using MaxMind. That's okay. It still converts better than not using it. You also want to personalize the experience throughout your webpage, not just in your text, but the whole site. A good example of this is a travel booking site, Expedia.com. If I'm in Los Angeles and I'm searching for flights to New York, it'll automatically show me flights from Los Angeles to New York because they're detecting that I'm in Los Angeles. So they're like, oh, he's in Los Angeles. Might as well show him routes from Los Angeles to New York, because there's no way that he's already in New York if he's looking for a flight to New York, and the chances are he's in the city where his computer is. Now that you know how to think like a scientist, it's time for you to think like a winner. So I have a question for you. What does Mark Zuckerberg, Michael Jordan, and Michael Phelps all have in common? Yes, I already know that they're amazing at what they do, right? Mark is an amazing entrepreneur. Michael Phelps, great swimmer. Michael Jordan, you can say the best basketball player in this world. But what's one thing that they all have in common? The one thing is, they didn't do it themselves. They all had mentors. Mark Zuckerberg had Sean Parker. Sean even guided him at the very beginning when he was calling it the Facebook and told him to call the company and the site Facebook. He's like, drop the the. Michael Jordan had Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson helped him become a better basketball player. Michael Phelps has won the most amount of gold medals in swimming. He had Bob Bowman help perfect him and fine-tune him in the best swimmer that he could be. Just think of it this way. If you're going to climb Mount Everest, would you just fly over to Nepal and just go without any training all the way to the top? No. Why? Because A, you're probably not going to even make it to the top. B, sadly, you'll probably even die, right? It sucks, but it's reality. You would get a Sherpa. In other words, you would get a mentor. So why would you do that with your business? Why would you go all the way, try to create the business and get to the top without having any help? Because you know what? The reality is you're going to fail. I hate to say it, but that's just the stats. It's not even my own opinion. If you look at most of the businesses that are created each and every single year, the stats crazy. It's like 80 or 90% of them fail. Why? Because these people don't have the right mentorship. In the last year alone, I spent over $100,000 on business mentors to help me for each and every single aspect of my company. Heck, I even paid a guy named Jermaine, who's based out of Orange County, California, $10,000 to spend 8 hours with him. All he did was help me fine-tune my marketing automation and connect a phone system into the email marketing, so then that way the sales reps could start making more income from each and every single lead. And you know what's funny about that? I paid him for 8 hours, but I was only there for 5.5 hours. That's $10,000 for 5.5 hours worth of mentorship. Well worth every single penny. And it's not just me who's paying for mentorship. People even come to me asking for help. Alana joined one of my programs. Her and her husband Jared have a website called Skincare by Alana. It's an e-commerce website that sells skincare products. Now Alana didn't want to make money because she wanted a fancy boat or fly first class or go to all these countries that she hasn't been. She just wanted to make more money so she could buy a home in a good school district so her kids could get the education that they never received. And through my program, she was able to get that mentorship, grow her sales by over 30%, and it allowed her to get that home so she could provide her kids with the education that she never received. Another person that joined my program and got mentorship was Vignesh. And what's interesting about this story is he came to us when he was 23. He lived in India, and he was like, Neil, I want to be the best marketer out there. He lived, breathed, sleep, ate marketing. He got so good at it that not only did he start making money, but I ended up hiring him as my chief marketing officer because he was that talented. And if Vignesh at 23, living in India with choppy internet can do well, so can you. The reality is, I can't cover everything you need in an hour webinar. Heck, even if you gave me the whole day, I still couldn't cover everything. You may even feel overwhelmed by what I cover. And I only have scratched the surface. There's just so much information out there. And for that reason, I had to ask you a question. Do you want to keep this going? Can I get your permission to tell you about something? The same program that Alana and Vignesh joined that allowed them to get the mentorship and take their business and career to the next level. So just type in the chat room yes if you want to keep this going and if you want to learn more about that program. All right, we got quite a few yeses coming in. So you have two options. The first option is that you can do this alone, spend tens and thousands of hours learning marketing, spend hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. You'll get frustrated, you'll figure things out. You may end up spending 3 to 10 years, but hopefully at the end of it, you'll be a great marketer. As Malcolm Gladwell says, it takes 10,000 hours to get great at something. Just look at me. Look how many hours and years it took me to be exceptionally good at marketing. Sure, everyone knows me as Neil Patel, the amazing online marketer, but I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. I'm in my 30s now. The first 4 or 5 years, no one was talking about me. I wasn't heard, right, in the whole marketing community. I was making tons of mistakes and trying to figure out all on my own. Or you could stand on the shoulders of someone who's done it before and get guided and have them take you through what they've been through so many times. That way you don't have to make the countless mistakes and the corrections and have all those failed experiences that you would if you're trying to do it all on your own. And for that reason, I created the Advanced Marketing Program. It's that thing, that mentorship that'll help take you to the next level, so that way you don't have to figure out everything on your own like I had to go through and make all those mistakes and take all those years and time and money just to figure out how online marketing works. So now, before I go into the program, I want to let you know one thing. Just like my blog and everything else that I produce, I always over-deliver and try to blow your expectations away. Compared to what most people charge for, my free information is way better than that, right? So just imagine what my program is going to have, considering that it costs money. So here's what's inside. First, you're going to get a mindset shift, a mental reboot and roadmap for next level success. You'll also receive an actionable plan to strategically grow your leads, client, customers, and recurring subscribers. In essence, you're going to be growing at a faster pace than what you're achieving right now. You'll also get proven sales and marketing models that you can implement to get more results. Timeless sales and communication and persuasion strategies to also close more sales. Just like I'm known for, you're going to learn more organic traffic generation strategies to increase your overall leads and sales. Best of all, I'm going to teach you 7-figure sales processes, funnels, and automated systems to attract more customers, nurture them, qualify them, and get them to take action. Now, when you're doing your marketing, you need to do scorekeeping, and I'm going to teach you that mindset so you can learn how to track your numbers religiously. If you're not good at numbers, no worries. I'll walk you through it step by step, but knowing numbers is the key to successful marketing. That'll also help you make traffic and lead generation work in conjunction with ROI-driven systems that scale. In essence, it's a system to find quality, high-converting customers at price points you've never imagined. To sum it up, you're going to get a structure for growth and scale, action, implementation, change, and results. So here's the 8 training segments inside the Advanced Marketing Program. The first one, mindsets, foundations, and structural roadmap. The second segment is 7-figure sales processes, funnels, and models. Then I go into communication and persuasion strategies. I love this stuff. It's timeless and it always works. I've been using a lot of these tactics 5, 6, 7 years ago. They still work today. Even some of them, David Ogilvy was using like 30 years ago. They worked for him. They still work today. The fourth one that I'm going to go into is advanced traffic acquisition tactics. This will help you get more visitors and eyeballs to your site. Then we'll get into content marketing and promotion strategies. Now that you got the traffic, we're going to teach you all about conversion optimization. We're going to go through a conversion optimization bootcamp so that way you can convert the most amount of visitors into customers without being sleazy and over-promising. The seventh segment is all about delegating and outsourcing. For those of you who don't have much time, I'm going to teach you how to get a lot of this stuff done for pennies on the dollar. And last but not least, automation and scaling. Once you have all the fundamentals down, it's all about scaling this and automating it so that way you don't have to keep adding headcount or paying for more staff to keep growing your marketing and sales. Each segment is broken down into 3 parts. The first is high-level concepts. This is where I tell you what we're going to be covering, why it's important and relevant to your business, and how it's very effective in today's marketing environment. Then I go into frameworks, examples, and templates. I'll give you specific implementation instructions. I'll show you what worked in the past, as well as fill in the blank templates that you can use to quickly get started. Lastly, I break everything down step by step so you know how to implement each and everything, even if you don't have a technical bone in your body. Here's what the program looks like, right? So this is a screenshot of the membership portal. As you can see, once you log in, you're going to start seeing training videos. You can download PDF files, reports, blueprints, funnels, etc. There's tons of videos in there. They're short and to the point. They're actionable. That way you're not listening to a 45-minute video that barely covers anything and just is all about theory and concepts. This specifically is very action-oriented, so that way if you don't have a ton of time, you'll know what to do right away without having to waste countless hours going through useless information. So here's an overview on what you're going to get. The Advanced Marketing Program, Assignment and Handout Vaults, 3 fully integrated marketing plans, Coaching Call Archives. This is an archive of recorded marketing calls where our team goes over a specific marketing tactic and how you can implement it step by step within your business. The total value for all of this is $7,188. Now, this isn't for you if you're looking to get rich quick, as I mentioned in the past, or if you're expecting to get results with no effort. Why? Because it's impossible to do really well in marketing without putting any time and energy. This program, on the other hand, is perfect for you if you own a business, you do marketing for any site or business, you just want to start a business, you're a freelancer, or you're just interested in learning more about marketing. When I was creating this course, I had 2 options. The first was to create a low-end product that was like around $47 that you see on ClickBank. But you know what? I knew that if I created something like that, it wouldn't be good enough for you to get the results that you were looking for. I also thought about just focusing on one marketing tactic and creating a course around that. But again, it wouldn't give you everything you need to succeed. What you really need is something comprehensive like the Advanced Marketing Program. That way, you don't have to buy 10 different courses and only get a fraction of what mine has to offer. Plus, you'll get all the tools you need to grow your business with the Advanced Marketing Program. So yes, is it a little higher of investment upfront? Sure, but it also covers everything you need to take your business to the next level. I've been known over the years to under-promise and over-deliver, and I wanted to transfer that into the program. That's the same mentality that's helped me land a lot of big companies, such as Yahoo, Microsoft, Intuit, Salesforce, and the list keeps going on and on. Not only are you going to get the course, the handout vaults, the marketing plans, and even the call archives, I'm also going to throw in this bonus to ensure your success. If you ever purchase any other product out there, no matter how good the information is, you know the chance of you implementing every little thing in that program is slim to none. For that reason, I'm giving you an implementation plan. It'll break down and walk you through step by step what you need to do to ensure your success so you can get the most out of the program. Another bonus that I want to give you is an exclusive private training video that'll teach you how to create a blog that gets over 1 million visitors a month. Now granted, if you're a plumber in Wisconsin, you won't be getting a blog that gets 1 million visitors a month. But using the tactics that I'm showing you and teaching you and taking you through step by step, you'll be better off than where you were. These are the exact tactics I've used to grow neilpatel.com, Kissmetrics to over 1 million visitors a month, QuickSprout, the Crazy Egg blog. And if you think about each of my businesses, they have one thing in common. They all have a successful blog. I wouldn't keep doing this unless I knew there was a really high positive ROI. And I want to instill that knowledge and that framework and show you step by step how you can achieve the same results that I have. So again, here's what you're going to get. You already know you're going to get the first 4, but you're also going to be getting an implementation plan and the training guide that teaches you how to get 1 million visitors a month to your blog. If you don't have a topic or idea of what you want to blog on, no worries. This guide also shows you how to pick a niche on what you should be blogging on so you can have success. Now let me ask you a question. How much would you pay for one high-end ticket client a month? Or even a week? Or even a day? Or if you're selling low-end products like e-commerce sites, how much would you pay for more predictable sales each and every single day? Just think about it. Let's say you're a freelancer and you're charging $1,000 per client. What happens if you can get one new client each and every single day? Or you're an e-commerce site that sells products for a few $100s a month. What happens if you can more predictably get at least a few $1,000s worth of sales per day? Now you can see why clients are willing to pay $100,000 just for a single day's worth of my time. And clients are happy to pay me that amount because I pay for myself and more. So you can see why this is a good deal at $5,000. But for the general public, this is priced at $1,997. But because you're serious and you're exhibiting winning qualities, because you're still here right now, most people don't even have the attention span to be here right now. So I have something special for you. You can get started right now for a one-time payment of $997. You have lifetime access, which means you can keep the program forever. I also had my team create MP3 files for every single lesson, so that way you can listen to it in the car or when you're working out at the gym or wherever you are. If you're just taking a run in the park, you can listen to the advanced marketing program and keep improving your business. Here's what you need to do next. Click the Get Started button right now, choose your payment plan, enter in your credit card details, or just check out using PayPal. Once you finish the checkout process, you're going to receive an email right then and there with your welcome and login details. You'll be given instant access to the course so you can start your journey right away. And for those of you who buy on this webinar, I'm going to throw in something that's extremely valuable too. You're going to get 1 year free membership access to my private Facebook group. This is where Mike, Vignesh, I, and 10 more senior level marketers from my team are going to be in there helping you out and providing mentorship, right? So whether you have a small question like, hey, what's a great tool for collecting emails? You'll get a response to that. Or if you have a larger question such as, hey, here's my landing page. People are coming to it. No one's buying. What should I do? Not only will we give you feedback, but we'll go into your website. We'll look at your landing page. We'll tell you what's done wrong. We'll even look at your traffic and say, hey, your traffic's not qualified, or here's what you should fix, so that way you can generate more sales. In essence, you can ask anything you want, right? This is where we mentor and guide you, so that way you have success. Remember when I was talking to you about Michael Jordan, Michael Phelps, and Mark Zuckerberg and how they had mentorship? This is the reason I created the private Facebook group. I want to ensure that you get mentorship just like I had or they had. People in the Facebook group are even saying this bonus alone is worth more than the whole course. If you're stuck, you have questions, or you're not sure what to do, we're going to be there for you. To show you the real value of the Facebook group, I'm going to go into there to show you some of the questions people are asking and the responses they're getting so you can see the type of mentorship that you're going to receive. So here's Courtney. She's asking, hey all, I'm currently doing my homework for modules 2 and 3, and I'm discovering that many of my competitors don't use AdWords or utilize PPC campaigns. Are there any additional tools that you might recommend to collect landing page data and analytics? I realize I could be doing this manually, but hoping to cut down on time-consuming processes a bit. Thanks. So as you can see, not only are people from the group responding, other members, but you also see our own team is helping each other out. So Benson, who's part of our team, he said, I personally use What Runs Where and SimilarWeb. If you really want good data, then I use AdBeat. Check them out. I went in there and then I responded with, even if they don't leverage AdWords, you can still get data on them from SEMrush, because SEMrush gives you data on their organic traffic as well. Here's another question from Rashawn. Hey, I'm working on a car blog and I want to get into selling cars as affiliate plugins or API that sends leads to dealers. I figured out a few lead magnets, but I want to better understand the market, i.e. how many people fill out car buying forms and how many people take action. Does anyone know where I can find that information? Therefore, I can better advise them and make better lead magnets. Who knows, if the numbers don't work, we can go in another direction. So Mike here, who has experience working at a car dealership, he responds with, it depends on the people who are reading your blog. Are they people who have bad credit or good credit? Looking for something new or used? You have to know who you're targeting to create effective lead magnets. And the screenshot couldn't fit it all, but Mike keeps going in it more and more. He then gives advice to him saying, all right, these are the type of people that are reading your blog. Here's what you should do to make the most amount of money from your leads and your site. Here's a question from Peter. Lead magnet and tripwire help. I'm a conversion optimization consultant. I help businesses turn more visitors into customers. Ironically, it's far easier to do that for someone else than yourself. So I'm having a hard time coming up with a good lead magnet and tripwire for my own business. Many of you probably are in my target market. What value could a conversion expert offer you to get started down the funnel? Right now, I'm doing free Google Analytics health check to make sure all of your data is accurate. So Mike and I have a lot of experience in this. So does Jim and a few other people. Mike says, hey Peter, why not offer a free 15-minute strategy session? You can guarantee that they'll learn something that'll increase their sales without even spending $1. Peter's big concern was, and he responded with this, my concern is that people may stay away because it's like inviting a cold call or a sales pitch. I actually avoided Neil's webinar for a while because I knew it would end with a pitch, right? And you know what? If you think about it, Peter's in the advanced marketing program, even though he knew it would end with a pitch. Mike ended up responding with, hey, you're thinking about it the wrong way, right? He helped change Peter's mindset. In essence, if you know that you can help someone improve their business, you're doing a disservice by not trying to help them out. It's like me telling you, if I know I can grow your website revenue by 30, 40%, I'm doing a disservice to you if I don't tell you that I can help you and what changes you can make to grow your business more. Once Mike ended up explaining that and helped change Peter's mindset, he responded with, I see how my mindset was off. That really helps. And then I also chimed in and I broke down when he offers the free strategy session, he shouldn't just say, what's your name, email, and URL? Because if he didn't get enough details from the company, he was going to get a lot of phone calls that would not be qualified. In essence, he would be wasting his time. As you can see, marketing isn't black and white. There's a lot of gray areas, and this is why mentorship is really helpful, because not everything is clear on exactly what you should do when. Here's another example from Jim Miller. He has a B2B promotional products company. He was doing pay-per-click and he was struggling to acquire leads at a low enough cost. In essence, he couldn't figure out how to get leads to spend enough money where it would be worth it for him to spend money on each and every single click to his website. So you know what we did? Mike has a buddy who has a similar type of company in the US. Jim's company is in the UK. Mike connected him with his buddy who has the same type of company that's doing over 7 figures a year, and that guy's name is Brandon. Brandon walked Jim through all the steps he needs to take to have a successful company in the UK doing the same exact thing. Where else are you going to get this kind of help and this kind of mentorship so that way you can succeed? It's rare. If you know somewhere else, let me know, because I also would be willing to sign up for it. Once you're in the Facebook group, you'll realize that there's rules. One of the rules is that you can only ask marketing related questions. We had someone ask a question that wasn't marketing related, and I decided to let it slide. So here was the question. Has anyone finished using the advanced marketing program, and have they seen real-time results? It's a very long process, and I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time. So here's a response from Kinga Dao. Seb, it's a life-changing decision. please feel free to search my post and review it. If you're looking to change your business, change your life, and become super successful, this is the place to be. However, you'll get out what you put in. So in essence, if you put in the time and energy into the advanced marketing program, we'll be here to help you and guide you so you can also get amazing results. Again, you can get started now for $9.97. All you have to do is click the Get Started button and enroll right now. You have two choices that you can take. The first option, do nothing, not take that leap of faith, which is 100% risk-free. The second option is pay the small investment today compared to all the value that you're going to get in return. If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you'll get it, no questions asked. Because there's 100% 30-day money back guarantee. It's simple. If you're not happy for any reason within the first 30 days, just simply contact me and I'll return your money, every single cent. This is truly no risk. In fact, it puts all the risk on me, exposing my strategies, my tactics, worksheets, handouts, scripts, and even access to the community, while still giving you the opportunity to say no thanks at any time. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Even if it does half of what I claim today, it'll pay for itself. The only thing you're really risking is your time, because you can go in, check out the program. If you like it, great. You feel that you're getting the right mentorship that you need, awesome. If you don't, you've just risked a bit of your time. You can say, hey Neil, I'm not happy. No worries, here's your money back. I'm also going to throw in another bonus for you guys. For each and every one of you who says, hey, I'm busy, I don't have too much time to do all these changes to my website, and you know what, I'm willing to pay for it, no worries. I'm going to throw in my $1 million Rolodex. Now, if you're curious on what this is, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Have you ever wondered how I was able to grow Kissmetrics to over 1 million visitors a month? Just look at this screenshot, right? That's over 1 million visitors. Or how I grew Crazy Egg to over 409,000 visitors per month, or how Hello Bar gets over 350,000 visitors per month. That's not too shabby considering there's only one person in the marketing department for both of those companies, right? Just look at the screenshot of Crazy Egg, 409,000 visitors. That's a lot of traffic, especially when there's only one person running marketing. And Hello Bar, again, a lot of traffic. It's because I have a list of contractors that are available at your beck and call for affordable price. In essence, if you don't have the time to make these changes, you can use contractors, and these contractors are really good and affordable. I spent time and years vetting people who are good at SEO, copywriting, PR, design, development, marketing automation, link building, and much more. And you'll get access to all of this. The best part about the Rolodex is I spent so many years, because when I was starting out, I didn't have much money. And I wasn't technical and people weren't guiding me through on how I can make changes to my own site. So I had to pay constant number of contractors. Most of them sucked. They ripped me off. They didn't provide what they were going to do on time either. But eventually, over the years, right, I've been in business for well over 10 years. I've ended up figuring out who's good and who's not, who'll do the job on time and who'll do it in a really affordable manner. And I'm going to share the list of contractors that I use for my own stuff today, even on the neilpatel.com site, with you. Now, because these contractors have a limited amount of time, if everyone just tried bombarding them right away from day one, then they're going to run out of time and they're not going to be able to do anyone's work. And for that reason, you're going to get it on the 45th day. By that point, you've gone through enough of the advanced marketing program where you'll know how to interact with these contractors and tell them what stuff you want done and what you don't. What stuff will actually move your needle and get you the results. This way, you're not wasting your money and you're not wasting the contractor's time by giving them a ton of useless work that won't impact your business. Last but not least, this is my favorite bonus. You're going to get a weekly group coaching call. Every week, my team does a live group coaching call on a different topic. You can ask any questions you want during the session and they'll answer it for you. And to accommodate everyone, we do the calls in the morning and nighttime as well. So then that way, no matter where you are in this world, you'll be able to join the call live. And if you're not, it's recorded. So that way you can listen to it at a later date. Again, This is where you're going to get the mentorship and the training you need to be a winner like Michael Jordan, Mark Zuckerberg, and Michael Phelps. To give you a quick recap on what you're going to get, as you already know, you're going to get the first 6, plus you're going to get the private Facebook group, the $1 Million Rolodex, and the weekly group coaching call. If you combine all of these things that I'm putting in together, that's over $12,000 of value. You're getting it all for $997. Just as a friendly warning, these bonus offers are only available till the end of this webinar. Plus, I don't know how many people we can accept into this group because we're actually providing hands-on mentorship and training, right, through the coaching calls, Facebook group, etc. And for that reason, we can't handle tons of people. So we're going to limit it to as many people as we know we can mentor without decreasing the quality and the value to each of the existing advanced marketing program members. There are 3 types of people: those who make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who are wondering what just happened. So who are you going to be? The person who's wondering, hey, what just happened? Or the person who signed up for the advanced marketing program in order to grow their business and take it to the next level? As I promised at the beginning of the webinar, you're going to get a link to all of the slides. And you can get those slides at neilpatel.com/notes. And on that URL, you'll also get that bonus, that cheat sheet that teaches you how I rank number 1 for the keyword online marketing. And if you use those tactics, you yourself will start ranking really high for the competitive terms within your niche. Throughout the webinar, I noticed you guys asking a lot of the same questions over and over again in the chat. So before we get into Q&A, I'm going to answer those. So the first one that I noticed is, hey Neil, how do I get the content and is it dripped? You're going to get the content through the advanced marketing portal. You'll get a URL and within there you can log in. It's lifetime access, so even 5 years from now if you want to go in, you'll be able to check it out. Yes, the content is dripped, and the reason being is we found that when we just give you all the content up front, you start skipping around and you don't go in the order that we feel is best for your business. But if you really want all of the content up front, just shoot us an email and we'll open it up to you so that way it's not dripped. The other question that I'm seeing a lot is, what level of support do you get? Well, you get support through the Facebook group, the weekly coaching calls, and if you have any technical or advanced question that can't be answered in any of those places, just email support@neilpatel.com and we'll be there to help you out. Another question, will this work for my business? This in essence works for all business types. Whether you're B2B or B2C, it'll work for you. Whether you're a localized business or national or a worldwide business, again, this will work for you. It doesn't matter if you're e-commerce, a freelancer, a lawyer, if you're a software as a service, subscription business, this literally works for all types of businesses. Now, the only 3 businesses that this doesn't work for are if you're in the private sector, like you're pitching to governments and you're doing government contracts where no one can know what you're doing, well, you don't really need traffic to your site. You're pitching to government contracts based on what contracts they have open. The second type of business is Kickstarter businesses. If you're just trying to launch something on Kickstarter, this program won't tell you how to get a ton of people donating to your Kickstarter page. It's more long-term, it's not short-term. Now granted, once you create your Kickstarter campaign, you have people who funded your project and you want to create that long-term business, this will help you. But if you're just looking to get help with getting more people to fund your Kickstarter page, the tactics in the advanced marketing program won't help you. And the third type of business this doesn't help with is if you're only selling on Amazon. If you want tricks to ranking high on Amazon, we don't teach that. If you have an e-commerce site and you're selling on your own site and you want to figure out how to grow your sales, we'll teach you how to do that so you're not reliant on Amazon and their algorithm. The other question that I'm continually seeing is, why is the price so high? Well, I have to ask you this. How much would you pay for a college education? You can say easily $5, $10, $20, $30,000, if not more. And what's funny is, in the marketing department for many of these colleges, guess what? They're teaching my material. I get so many emails each and every single week telling me, hey Neil, I learned your material in my class at college. Or even professors emailing me saying, Neil, can I teach this material? And the material they're teaching is my old free information that you can find online. So you're telling me that people are paying for a college education to learn marketing from my free information that you can find online, and they're saying, wow, it's amazing. Just imagine what you're going to get when you join the advanced marketing program for $997. Plus, you have nothing to lose. If you're not happy, you can ask for your money back no matter what. You may also be wondering, are there any extra costs? Well, if you want to use tools like that can send out emails, you may be paying anywhere from free, because there's a lot of free solutions like MailChimp, to ones that cost $10, $20 a month, or tools that can help you with marketing automation. A lot of those tools don't cost that much money, and a lot of them are free online. The biggest cost is if you're not willing to do it yourself. If your business is already up and running, you don't have time, you're going to end up paying people to get a lot of this stuff for you. Or you may have someone in your marketing department implement it for you. It's time, right? That costs money, in which you're having someone else do the work. Or if you want to use the contractors within the $1 Million Rolodex, you got to pay them the fee. And that fee is the same fee that I pay them. So you're going to get my discounted rate that I pay them for your business as well. But if you're doing this yourself and you're putting in your time and your energy, there shouldn't be too many expenses. Maybe an email software for $10, $20, or a WordPress theme which may cost you $50, but in essence, there's little to no cost. And you know what? You can bootstrap it and probably do it all without spending an extra dollar. If you're wondering how much time you should spend on this course, well, we have people spending all different amounts of time. Some people only do like an hour a week because that's all they have. And that's okay. You'll still get some results. The ideal amount of time to spend is 4 hours a week. We don't want you to spend more than that, because if you spend 10 hours, you're racing through all the segments and you're not taking any of the actionable steps we're giving you and implementing it in your business. You should be spending more time growing your business than learning from each and every single segment. And of course, how does the refund policy work? If you ask for your money back, you get it back, no questions asked. Just email us at support@neilpatel.com and we'll gladly give you your money back. So let's get into the Q&A, and Mike here is going to actually help me out with them.
Hey, thanks for bringing me in here, Neil. And I want to say hello to everybody and thank you guys for all joining this webinar. I'm excited to have you guys in here and super excited about the turnout, how many people actually showed up. I think it's awesome that you guys all want to improve your business. So I'm just going to start firing off some questions that we're getting from people, and I'll let Neil answer some of these. First, we've got Scott. He says, how soon should I expect to see results?
Well, Scott, you can actually start seeing results as soon as you start implementing some of the tactics from the modules. As we mentioned earlier, even if you don't do all of the things that we mentioned in the course, you will get results. There's a ton of different sections, from analyzing competitors to figuring out how you can grow through SEO to how to improve conversions through upsells and downsells. You should start seeing results as soon as you start implementing the work.
And Scott, keep in mind too that when you're doing some of the first modules in the beginning, like analyzing your competition, those modules won't directly have an ROI, but those are extremely important modules for you to be focusing on, because later on in the course, we're going to have you refer back to those modules and take all of the information that you learned from them, and you'll be applying them in different areas where you actually will be implementing tactics into your business. So next, we've got Jim. Thanks, Jim signed up. Awesome. Thanks for signing up. And we look forward to seeing you inside and helping you grow your business. Next, we have Alyssa. Is this program a good fit for my candle business? Neil?
It actually is. Funny enough, I know a candle company that was implementing some of these tactics, and they actually got bought out for millions of dollars, in which they were giving away wicks as a tripwire. And from there, people then started buying candles from there. It was a really good strategy. It ended up getting them, it was wicks, right, as a tripwire?
Yeah, it was, I think they sold for like $90 million. They were selling candle wicks, and they were doing free shipping for the candle wicks, just pay for shipping for the candle wicks.
Perfect, yeah, because I wasn't sure if it was wicks or it was like the candle holder,
so
right?
The wicks were free, a little pack of candle wicks, and then they only had to pay for shipping, which was like $4 to cover their costs of the company. And then immediately upon checkout, or upon the thank you page when they purchased, they would get an upsell for a bundle of candles, and they got way more sales that way.
And that's right. The reason being is, if someone buys something from you, doesn't matter how small it is, the chances of them buying something else from you after is extremely high. And the key, as Mike mentioned, is to sell them right upon checkout. So that thank you page should be an offer for something that they can buy for more money.
Cool. Next, we've got Steven, and he says, Neil, you're known for content marketing. I would love to do content marketing, but my industry is not exciting. How would you do content marketing for a pet supply company like mine?
There's a lot of tools out there that can help you determine what type of content you should be creating, even if your company is not sexy. For example, BuzzSumo. If you go to buzzsumo.com, buzzsumo.com, you type in keywords related to pets. You will then get a list of all the blog posts that people have written in the past that have done extremely well. For example, if you're selling pet supplies, you don't just have to write blog posts about pet supplies. You could just write blog posts about pets, maintenance. It could even be about the best ways to get rid of bad breath for your pet. And sure, you may have some supplies that can help with bad breath. If you don't, that's okay. But writing those kind of articles, yeah, they may not go viral, but a lot of people are Googling for things like how to get rid of my dog's bad breath. And when you join the course, you're going to be given that training video that I break down how to get 1 million visitors to a blog. The best part about that whole training video is it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It teaches you everything from content creation, the type of content you should be writing, how to write content from using you and I so it's more conversational, to get more social shares, to get more comments, etc. But that video will break down and teach you everything you need to know about blogging.
Great. We've got Roger. He just signed up. He says, Roger says, I would have paid the price of the course for the Facebook group alone. All right. People probably don't want to hear you say that, Roger. Now we've got Prakash. How is the content delivered?
You start off with 2 modules and a new one is opened up to you every 7 days. We've tested dripping people and giving them all the modules at once, but we found that when we give it to them all at once, they skip around, they don't learn a lot of the information, and the results that they achieve aren't as high. For example, remember David? If we gave David all of the modules all at once, he would have skipped around, he wouldn't learn much, and he would have felt that the course wasn't providing enough value to him. Although David felt that the first month was a bit slow, he gained so much knowledge from taking the course, and keep in mind he owned an agency, so he was already well skilled in marketing. He learned so much that he was willing to quit his agency, work with me for less money, and he still works with me today, and now I couldn't keep him at that salary forever, but it just shows that dripping the content helps you learn more information.
And also some of those early modules that some people may think are a little bit slow, when you actually do them, you'll see later on in the course how important it was to do those things and how much it's actually going to make your marketing more effective because you did do some of that early stuff, which is what I call the foundational stuff. Okay, so next we've got Kate. I have an e-commerce site that sells high-end jewelry products such as engagement rings. What would be a good example of an upsell for my business?
Funny enough, Kate, I know someone who started one of the biggest online diamond companies. He's one of my buddies. They took the company public. It's called Blue Nile. They did extremely well. I think at one point they had a market cap of over $1 billion. But when you're selling engagement rings online, what you'll find is you can't do an upsell of something much more expensive like 2 more engagement rings, necklaces that are really high priced. Because when someone's buying an engagement ring, they may be spending $5, $10, $15, $20,000 and they can't just go spend another $20,000. But what everyone does need when they do buy an engagement ring is insurance. Insurance is a really good upsell that has high profit margins that you should be offering for anyone who buys jewelry from your website.
Now we have Lauren. How specific can we be with questions in the Facebook group? Can we post something from our website, like a landing page, for example, and ask for your team's opinion?
You can ask anything that you want. And you know what? If you even ask a question that's related to people that we know and we think they can help you out, we'll even do introductions for you.
Now we have Cyprian. Do you offer done-for-you services?
We do have done-for-you services where we build sales funnels for you. We can do it from scratch for your brand new business, or we can optimize your existing sales funnel and make it even better. These services aren't cheap. It usually takes my team 1 month to 2 months to do, but the results are great.
Now we have Jessica saying, I'm signing up, Neil, excited to be a part of the community. Great, Jessica, we're happy to have you a member and we'll see you inside as well. Andre, I have to get approval from my boss to get the course. Can I still receive the bonuses if it takes me a day or 2 to sign up?
What are we doing here, Mike? What do you want to do?
If you send me an email right now, just send an email to advanced@neilpatel.com. So that's advanced@neilpatel.com with the subject line bonus extension. I will extend the bonus for 2 days for you. So just go ahead and send that email over to me and we'll start a thread and then we can just communicate in there. Okay, so next we've got, nice, more signups, great. This is exciting. We've got Ben, welcome. Susan, thank you for joining. And we've also got Leslie. It's great to have you in the program. Awesome. Now we've got Soul asking, how advanced is the course? I am very new to marketing.
Whether you're new to marketing or you're intermediate, or even if you know everything like David, the material will help you out. We have information for marketers that are at all skill levels.
Okay, and then we've got Gemma asking, if you don't have a big budget for social media marketing, how would you leverage it to generate customers?
One of my favorite strategies for leveraging social media marketing is going to Twitter and seeing all the people that are in my industry and are complaining. I go there, I respond to them, and I help them out. Once you help enough people out, eventually you'll start getting people to click through on your website because they're going to be like, oh wow, this Gemma person's really smart. She helped me out with X, Y, and Z. Let me check her out. What does she know? What does she do? What's her website? Let me go to it. Let me fill in the lead form. Let me buy her stuff. Because if you're giving such good information for free, Gemma, people are going to be like, I wonder what your paid information is going to be like. Another tactic that you can leverage that I love is every time I write a blog post, I link out to people. And when I link out to people, it's because I'm trying to use them to reference them, showcase stats, information, whatever it may be. For example, if I'm writing a post talking about increasing Twitter traffic and then there's some percentages that show some data points, I link out to the source where I got those data points from. And let's say that website that I linked to is run by a guy named John. So I'd email him out saying, hey John, I have to say I'm a huge fan of yours. So much so that I linked out to you my latest blog post. Feel free to check it out here. Cheers, Neil. P.S. It would make my decade, not just year, if you shared my blog post on your favorite social media site.
Joseph, I'm officially an advanced marketing member. Cool. Well, that's awesome, Joseph. We'll see you inside too. We've got Jenny asking, how much time is required every week? What if I get behind?
If you want to only spend a few hours a week, that's up to you. If you want to spend more time, like 10, 20, 30 hours a week, you can do that as well. The information is dripped to you. You have it forever. So once you get the information, you can always go back to older information. And best of all, whether you only have an hour a week to spend or 10 or 20 hours a week, just learning one tactic or one module will have a positive effect on your website, your business, or at the company that you work for.
And also, just to add to that, Jenny, when you join the Facebook group, you're going to have people who are ahead of you in the program and who are working in the exact same modules that you're in. So even if you get behind, it really doesn't matter because everyone is there to help each other out. So if you disappear for a month or go on vacation or something like that and you come back, you can still just pick right back up where you left off. You can ask questions about module 1 if you want in Facebook, and we're still going to answer those questions. So you don't have to work at a certain schedule along with other people.
And some of our people even get on, or some of our members get on phone calls with each other in which they go over the modules and they help each other grow as well.
Yep. Yeah. So now we've got Joyce asking, what if I can't think of a good lead magnet or tripwire?
If you can't think of a good lead magnet or tripwire, don't worry. The program breaks this down. Plus, there's a Facebook group where you can ask any questions and get opinions from people like Mike and I, as well as any member within the group.
Yeah, and we go really in depth in the program actually with this, where we show you exactly how to come up with a lead magnet and a tripwire for your niche. And in case you still need help, we'll also provide examples for you to get your brain juices flowing. So we give a bunch of tripwire examples. That way you can look at it and kind of get some ideas, and maybe an aha moment will pop into your head and you'll realize what you can do. If that's still not enough, you can also use the Facebook group for something like this, because if you ask a question or for an opinion about like a lead magnet, for example, for your industry, you'll get a ton of responses, right? Since people are so active in there, it's nice to have that because you're going to get like 10 different people giving you 10 different ideas, and then you can choose which one you like best.
Yeah, we get really specific within the course and even the Facebook group. I had someone ask me the other day about a tagline for their accounting and bookkeeping business. Their tagline had nothing to do with accounting. It just showed that they were a cool, hip company. And I explained to them how that wouldn't actually help them generate more customers. So I even gave them examples of ones that I would use if I had an accounting business or a bookkeeping business. Now, my examples weren't perfect because I don't know that space as well as them, but these examples should help their brain juices flow so that way they can come up with their own tagline variations.
Now, Akshay, Neil, I just joined the program. I'm looking forward to growing in my consulting business. That's awesome, Akshay. We've got a lot of people with consulting businesses in our program, actually. Next, we have Karen. She says, I have some bad links pointing to my website. Should I disavow them? They are scraper sites.
Everyone has scraper sites linking to them. The more popular you get, the more scraper sites you will get linking to you. Don't worry about these scraper links. I'm pretty sure Google isn't going to penalize you for that because all my sites have thousands of scraper sites linking to them, and I haven't disavowed any of them, and none of my sites are penalized. Same with a ton of my friend sites or hundreds of other sites that I know. If you do have really bad spammy links, for example, there's a ton of people right now that are doing EDU link building from scholarship pages, and they're offering these bogus scholarships in exchange for a link. Those are the type of links that you need to disavow.
We've got Bianca asking, I recently graduated from a UX design class at General Assembly. They have a good program. Now I'm looking to start my career as a freelancer. How would you recommend I go about getting new customers?
With the design business, there's a few ways you can actually generate customers. If you want to blog, guest posting on sites like Smashing Magazine or any popular design site is a great way to generate more leads. These design blogs are always looking for more information and more content. If you don't want to head up these design sites and guest post from, that's fine. Another strategy you can do is go find popular bloggers out there, reskin some of their designs, give them the design for free, and then in the footer of that design, put designed by Bianca or whatever the name of your company is or website or whatever it may be. By doing this, you'll find that you'll generate more customers over time. My buddy owns a design firm in San Diego called Digital Telepathy, and I helped him with the same thing. It's helped with branding, plus getting them much bigger clientele. Now they have companies that are paying them over $100,000 a month in retainer for design services. It's a really good strategy. Just associate your brand with some of the top influencers in this space, and you'll see eventually it'll get you other big companies to hop on board.
Mark, thanks Neil, I just purchased. See you on the inside. Cool. Sam, which is better and why? Guest posting on other blogs or building up your own blog?
It depends what you're trying to do. If you don't have time to blog consistently, I would guest post on other blogs. If you don't want to put time into building links, blogging, social media, etc., and I do recommend all those things if you're trying to create your own blog, in those cases, you should guest post. In ideal world, you should be doing both, guest posting and blogging on your own site. You will see quick results from guest posting, but keep in mind, 1 or 2 guest posts won't do the trick. You have to consistently guest post for 6 months to a year before you start seeing leads and traffic and sales from guest posting.
All right, and we've got Lawrence asking, I work for a web development company. Can you give me a good example of a profit maximizer?
Sure. A good example of a profit maximizer for a web development company could be hosting. When someone creates a custom web application with you, they'll be afraid that something happens with the code or their hosting and they won't know how to do things, because it's not as simple as just putting up a WordPress blog on a simple server and clicking a button. So you can offer managed hosting solutions for an upsell. It's really low maintenance on your end, the margins are high, and it's something that you should consider offering because these companies are spending way more hosting a custom application than they would be if it's just a simple WordPress site.
Awesome. We are actually all out of time. I can't take more questions right now, but if you do have more questions, you can still just email me at advanced@neilpatel.com. We'll put it somewhere in the chat for you guys.